Hey moguls, it's time to do another multi-million dollar upgrade today. And these are upgrades that are going to put you onto a whole next level, and they are worth millions of dollars if you implement them over the course of your lifetime, and even more than that when it gets carried on if you have kids and it goes into the next generation and beyond that. So the upgrade we're doing today is really understanding and getting out of being stuck. So, what I want to share with you is that oftentimes the reason someone's stuck has nothing to do with the fact that they're just like totally working hard, all in, doing their thing, just pushing and making things happen. The truth is, you can be doing all of that and recognize that day after day, week after week, month after month, and unfortunately, year after year, like you're in the same place or even going backwards. And that feeling of being stuck is so painful. And it's the opposite of feeling flow, and that you are flowing through your trajectory, you are growing, expanding, and that you're just getting better and better at things, right? You're getting exponentially better, which should happen. In all reality, that should happen because you're getting smarter, you're getting wiser. And yet, because for most of us, reality was never really explained to us, and our school system sucks ass for actually teaching us how reality works. We need to understand one of the most important factors of why we can get stuck. And that has to do with often it is the case that there is someone in our lives that is stuck, that is going backward, that may be going nowhere, that may just be in a time warp year after year, living the same exact life while you're trying to grow, you're trying to flow, you're trying to expand, and you're trying to get ahead, which is what you need to do because you have milestones that you're supposed to meet in your trajectory in order for that each phase of your life is the best it can possibly be. And there are massive risk factors to not meeting those milestones. And what I have found and also experienced, and my clients have found, is that when there is someone in our lives, let alone there might be multiple people in our lives, might be people that we are very close to, typically it is, people that we love, people that we care about, could be family, could be friends, could be even your neighbors. But when you have anyone around you that feels like they're not growing, not flowing, stuck in a time warp, and that, like, while reality is really evolving and things are constantly changing, these people sort of pretty much stay in the same place. They're frozen in a particular time frame. And this often happens, and it can be our parents, it can be our loved ones, again, it can be anyone. But because we're not taught that growth is a constant priority we should have, so like each and every day we should be growing massively, people sort of turn it on autopilot and just end up staying in the same place, which if you're staying in the same place, you're going backwards because evolution is happening, progression is happening. And if you are not up with it, if you are not getting ahead of it, then you are just absolutely behind and you're not going to meet the milestones that you are meant to meet through each phase of your life. And there are milestones that you must meet so that your 40-year-old self, 50-year-old self, 60-year-old self, 70-year-old self, and beyond, so that you're the person you need to be at each interval for what you are going to need to tackle. Because the longer you go on, the more you're going to need to deal with. And in reality, you're meant to get better and better and better, not have people hit 50, stop growing altogether, opt out, and then people start retiring and they just get out of the growth cycle. When the most important thing someone can do for themselves is to constantly grow and evolve. And in a rapid world that is evolving more rapidly than ever before, where we will be living 1 year and 11 days soon, there is no time for stalling. There's no time for being stuck. And so if you are stuck, If you are stalling, I want you to look around and see, are there people in your life? It could be the city you live in, the town you live in, the place you live in. Do you understand? Like some places are completely in a time warp and other places are completely progressive and progressing. Um, because we absorb our environment, we become it, we merge with it. That's why they say the people that you're the closest to, you become them. Well, people go, yeah, yeah, but then they just do the same thing anyway. And I'm here to tell you one of the difficult truths that is just going to be important for you to take in is that if you are around anyone, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't matter how much you care about them, that is not growing, that is stalling, you are absorbing that program, and it is likely a reason, the reason, at least a reason, that you are stuck and stalling and not growing at the rate that you need to, even though you're working and hustling and trying and exhausting yourself. But in reality, we should have things get easier and easier and easier and easier because we get smarter and smarter and wiser, and we are get better and better at growing faster. And in the age of AI, we must grow rapidly. That is just the way it is. People can wham, wham, wham about it. It's the way it is. And the good news is that humans are capable of rapid transformation. In my career, in my company, our transformation company, we have been transforming people very fast for many, many years. And rapid transformation is absolutely possible with the correct programming, which is always about being intentional about where you're going. So anything where people are taking you backward and constantly wanting to relive the past and constantly discussing the past, I'll never understand why every time we meet up with people, we're always reviewing the past rather than talking about the future. You want to be oriented to the future. You want to be oriented to your intentions. You want to be programmed for those. You want to be looking at them, thinking about them, feeling about them, talking about them. There's no way that you can sit around and talk about the good old days and actually progress. It just doesn't happen. You got to be talking about the amazing days to come, the amazing reality that you're intending, and you need to get oriented forward. And there are people, often these people in this time warp situation that are stuck, they tend to bring you into that world rather than as you're trying to bring them along. You say, hey, isn't this exciting? All these amazing things are going on. And they're just kind of like stuck. Bottom line is very simple. If you are with stuck people, you will take on their pace, you will sync up with them. Yeah, you will literally sync up with them, and the sync up is real. All we have to do is have our energies connected, either in proximity and in person sometimes. But here's the deal, everyone. All you have to do is be thinking about the person and have them in your psyche. Like, this is my friend, this is my family member, this is my such and such, this is my boyfriend. Whoever it is, if you've got them in your psyche at all, could be thinking about a friend from 10 years ago. You keep thinking about them. If you've got them in your psyche, they're in your programming, you will sync up with the pace of them being stuck, and you will be stuck. And no matter how hard you work and how many videos you watch for people telling you to work harder, you'll end up in the same place because you're orienting to someone else's timetable instead of the one that takes you forward into your intentions and your destiny and all the amazing stuff. So, no different than if you're around somebody that's always negative or in some low frequency vibration, you'll sync up with them too. You don't feel good, etc. But the longer it goes on, the more years of your life this goes on, and you have not hit the milestones that you are meant to hit at each stage of your trajectory, you will get more and more and more behind. So the only way to catch up is to do programming that puts you way ahead into the future, orients you, and you speak, think, feel, and everything is about this amazing, awesome future that you're having and all the intentions that you have. That's where your primary programming has to be. And that you go there quickly because you've been taught or you've been merging or connecting with someone else's pace. You've synced up with it, You now have to sync up with a very rapid level of transformation so that you can keep up with everything that's going on in our world. You can be at the level you need to be at to live in this modern society, which requires everybody to be fast, fast, fast at growth. All right. So these are the keys to getting unstuck. These are the keys to the keys to going forward. These are the keys to making your reality what you want it to be. So everyone, thanks for taking in this upgrade. Make sure you are connecting to it, thinking about it, feeling about it, writing about it. Be good to make some comments about it in this video and sharing about it. And when you go hang out with people, instead of talking about what you did, talk about what you're going toward. Very, very big, important upgrade. Thanks for taking this one in. Another multi-million-dollar upgrade. If you do this, you can have the reality that you want. And the value of going forward faster, rapidly, growing quickly is worth millions and millions of dollars. It's just that simple. All right, everyone. Glad you got this upgrade. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for moguling up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.